Good morning, everybody. It's your boy D Mac, man. I know I told y'all I wasn't coming on because I'm under the weather and not feeling well right now, but this is something that I had to come and speak on. I was going to do a recap of everything that I missed whenever I was scheduled to come back on, but this is something that I wanted to address in the moment. I'm not going to stay on here long. I got to go and drink my tea and all of that stuff in a minute anyway. But blessings to everybody. First and foremost, my trip was great. Definitely got a lot of sights, and I definitely did a lot of great things with family, so that was dope. Shout out to Lovey Star Beating. She sent my wife some beautiful jewelry and stuff like that, and I appreciate it. Um, Very, very quality jewelry. Looks great. She's gonna rock it with an outfit that she got. So shout out to Lovey once again. Now, I want to talk about Kanye and this most recent controversy with the White Lives Matter shirts. Okay, we do understand that this is Kanye West, first and foremost, and he's very unorthodox in a lot of his thinking. He's very provocative, especially when it comes to trying to promote something. Now, I want to point to something that happened quite a while ago that could play a lot into why we see these what seems to be Kanye championing the European side over his own people. Do y'all recall back when there was a hurricane? There was a major, major hurricane, and you had Kanye West. Salute to you, my brother. What's happening, your crazy cousin? Hey, you remember back when they had that big? I believe it was Hurricane Katrina, and Kanye West was on TV with Mike Myers, and I believe it was what's my man name from Friday? They ain't gonna Chris Tucker, and they was doing some type of drive for Hurricane Katrina, and Kanye came out and he just straight up said George Bush does not care about black people. That whole thing right there. Don't y'all know that Kanye West is still paying for that? Don't y'all know that Kanye West is still being hung out to dry and he has to do and say certain narratives because he's still trying to pay penance for that? And so when you see Kanye doing things like supporting Donald Trump and see him doing all of these things that are contrary to the black power struggle that he claims to be a part of at times, y'all have to understand that they pulling on that noose that they have around his neck saying, you still haven't paid for this fully. You still got to do this. You still got to push this narrative into your people. And so I've always thought about the song that he did, Golddigger, the one with Jamie Foxx. He featured Jamie Foxx. And so if you look at a lot of the three different verses, the context of each one of those verses, Kanye West has practically lived in his life. He's experienced this in his life as he's been growing in stardom and fame and all of that stuff like that. So this brother has He's had the girl. My best friend says she used to mess with Buster. I don't care what none of y'all say. I still love her. He done had that girl in his life. That was Kim. What is she known for? She came onto the scene and became famous for basically smashing Ray J. I don't care what none of y'all say. I still love her. He lived out that part. And so you look at it, you're like, man, hold up. This bro sat here and he done left the sisters for this. What? Well, the song say it. When he get home, he gonna leave your ass for the white girl. And that can be broken down in so many different ways because this whole white lives matter concept that he's going with now with Candace Owens, you better be careful because if he find a lighter chick, he gonna push you to the curb and get with her and push that same narrative. But I'm just saying. But you know, it's something that he has to do because he still has to pay penance for what he came out of his mouth and said on live TV a long time ago. Because that wasn't something that they could bleep out. That was live television. So everybody heard it, no matter how many times it's just like the Super Bowl whenever Janet Jackson Titty came out. Yeah, they could bleep it afterwards, but it was live, and in that moment, everybody that was watching it just saw what they saw. And same thing with that. So everybody in the free world saw this man say that George Bush does not care about black people, and that went worldwide. And that dude has been under the gun ever since. Good morning, Cynthia. Good to see you. Good to see you facing the place. Um, but yeah, and he's been paying penance for that ever since. You go back to the song, man. This dude said, "I wonder if he has a prenup because he's definitely going down that route to where he's going to have to start divvying up and tallying up how much this divorce is going to cost." So there's another part that he needs to deal with that directly correlates to the song that he put out. And I'm like, bro, you sat here and you gave all of this information and you gave all of this advice to your so-called brothers, but then you absolutely walk that path step by step, footstep by footstep, and then you flip on them at the end. So I don't understand. I'm not trying to understand anymore. People have been spending all of this time trying to understand what this man is trying to say. If he can't make it plain to the people, if he has to do all of these abstract things that are mostly tied to advertising and marketing ploys and plots and stuff like that, I don't see why people continue to keep this person in such high regard. I mean, keep him in high regard for the music that he has made. All of this other stuff does not deserve our time, does not deserve our attention, and we definitely do not need to be considering this man as any type of leadership in the black movement, period. He's definitely has a motive, or he has that noose still around his neck to where he can't fully do what he want to do. And why would you want somebody like that inside of your organization that's being controlled by the other side that you're supposed to be getting away from and breaking away from? That makes absolutely no sense. And so when you have a guy like Kanye West who's definitely trying to straddle the fence because he's always got one foot in that world and he's always trying to explain why he has to be so enthralled in that world, which is a lie. That's just him trying to cover up the fact that he loves to indulge in all of that stuff. He's bought a hook, line, and sinker. And he's saying so deep that he can't get out. So if he can't get out, why not be one of the best at all of that crap? That's the mindset that he carries, and that's what he feeds to people. And people try to always associate his musical genius with him being a genius in other areas, and that is the absolute farthest from the truth concerning him and a lot of other people. This is where a lot of people got in trouble with people like Donald Trump. Donald Trump may have been smart in real estate. He was tricky and crafty, and he could produce numbers They thought that that was going to correlate over into other areas, and it absolutely didn't. And now we see the backlash of all of that. And we're the ones who are dealing with all of the damage that's been done, not only to our economy, not only to our infrastructure, but to our whole entire government, everything. We're the ones who are dealing with the backlash of that. And so when we put people like this, these dangerous people in high positions who are not stable minded, who can be tossed to and fro with anything that's said convincingly, no, I can't follow that. I can't follow that. I can't consider that man a leader in our movement. There's way too much to be done. There's too many important things to have a distraction like Kanye West. So a lot of these people are there merely for distraction's sake to keep our minds off of the goal at hand and what we're moving towards. And so they're going to do any and everything that they can to distract. That's what they're there for. That's what they get paid to do. That's what they're, whatever the situation is. And so we have to get rid of these distractions. It's time for us to put the blinders on, and the Kanye West of the world, and the Candace Owens of the world, and the Jesse Lee Petersons, and all of the above. We have to put the blinders on, tunnel vision, see past those people, and keep moving towards our mark. We don't need to let them in on anything. If they want to be a prospect from the bleachers, that's what they can do. But as far as them being a part of the movement, that's like putting Herschel Walker at the head of our movement. Do you really think? Yeah, enough said. We don't even have to go any further with that conversation because anybody who's listened to Herschel Walker knows that he's incompetent. And these are the people that they're trying to put in position, not because of their ability to do the job. They're only putting them in that position for their ability to do what those governing bodies say. That's Kanye West. He has a great ability to do what they want him to do and say what they want him to say. That's what he gets compensated for. And so if we continue to look at him as a leader of any type of black movement, it's not going to be a movement because it's not going to move anywhere. That's all I'm saying. I man, I definitely don't want to see this brother end up like a whole lot of other people who have suffered from harsh mental anguish and stuff like that. I understand those feelings. I understand the all of the different anxieties, and I understand all of the paranoias, and especially on his level, because if I have such a intense time on the level that I deal with it, I could just imagine his level, which is amplified maybe 100 times more. So I do recognize that, but I don't make excuse for it, and I still don't accept it. It's still not acceptable, and that's the thing about it. So, Kanye's definitely lived out most of that. She only part we're waiting for now is see after 18 years if the baby is his. That's all. That's the only part of the song that's incomplete right now, and I don't wish that on nobody, but. This brother's definitely done everything else that song Golddigger that he warned people to not do. What they say when he get on, he leave your ass for what? Wow. Now he's out here with a White Lives Matter shirt. Wow. With one of the whitest black women in the world. Wow. I just don't understand unless I've heard that song and I've examined that song for more than just being a song because it's a message. It's definitely a message to us as a people. It's an example to us as a people. If we look at Kanye West's example of where he started out when he came in the game, he was bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, ready to take on the world. Do you remember, some of y'all that's old enough to remember the Def Comedy Jam? Y'all remember when they started doing the Deaf Poetry Jam and Kanye came on there? And matter of fact, he spit that verse from Golddigger in poetry form, in spoken word on Deaf Poetry Jam. And so now to see, fast forward all of these years later, step by step, each verse of that song he has actually lived out. And now we're looking at a Kanye West that's depleted and everybody's calling him crazy. And now that Kim's been able to make as much as she could by her brand being attached to his brand. Now that her brand has become uh, more valuable than his brand, now it's time to detach and find something else to attach. So this is the lifestyle that he chose to live, and he is so spooky to me how he lived out every single context of that song. Every single verse of that song he's lived out so far. Like I said, except for the we're still waiting to see it. You know, I ain't even gonna say that about that man. That's disrespectful. I don't want to talk about his family or nothing like that. I'm just saying this is what the song says, is he's lived it so consistently, word for word, bar for bar, line for line, concept for concept, that the only thing is left is on that 18-year mark. Man, this is, I hope it's a cautionary tale for people, because they say that smart people learn from their mistakes and wise people learn from the mistakes of others. And so for Kanye to be a living, walking prime example of the song that he put out. And I also want to play it in this light too, because I was thinking about it. Not only did he have a gold digger, he himself became a gold digger. He himself became a gold digger. You look in everything that he's spoken over all of the years, and he's talked about how he's grown to such a level to where he deals with these types of people, and he's Steve Jobs, and he's all of this, he's Walt Disney, and all of these different things that Kanye West has done to prostitute himself out for $1, for to go towards whatever he wanted to. He himself has become that gold digger in that song. Now, I ain't saying he a gold digger, but he ain't messing with no broke people. Kanye's told you that millions of times. If you don't have this, I can't talk to you. You can't talk to me if you don't do this or you don't have that. He's said that many times. Kanye is absolute gold digger. He's become that song as well. Not only did he live it, but he became it. And so this is a cautionary tale once again, man, because I don't understand what is the what is the standard now for a black leader? What criteria do we have for somebody to pass to be considered a black leader? And why are we continuing to allow these stars and these entertainment industry people to place that label of black leader on themselves simply because they've been successful in entertainment? They're not leading anything. They're leading entertainers. They're leading. I mean, what are you really, really doing to make a change? And that's the thing. They will give some money. Okay, cool. You gave some money. That money's going to go towards this, this, and that. And by the time it actually makes it to the neighborhood, it'll get to the neighborhood in the form of a swing set and a sliding board in the park with some bark down in a damn little square. And that'll be the sum total of all of those millions of dollars that you got gave to the community. And by the time it went through all of the hands of all of the greedy people that pinched a piece off here and pinched a piece off there, by the time it got to the neighborhood and you just bought a swing set and a slide board, but you swear you're doing something for the community. Go tell that to somebody who don't know no better. Go tell that to somebody who haven't been a recipient of these things that y'all supposedly give back to the hood. You giving turkeys. They've been doing that since the beginning of time. They said even the evil, even demons give good gifts to their own. So how much more could you give to yours? I don't want to give you a turkey. I want to give you the resources to be able to supply your own. So if you're really building in that manner, if you really have that mindset, you would definitely not be out here spending your money on chains and 30 cars. And I mean, you can have if that's what you want, by all means, you have that. But if you really have a mind to build and you're really talking about being a black leader, then your heart is where your treasure is, and your treasure is where your heart is. Your treasure means your time, your energy, your focus, your attention, your finance. All of these things are going to be geared towards the things that you treasure and the things that you consider important in your life. You look at things in your life that's important. Good morning, Hurricane. How you doing? You look at the things that you consider important in your life. The most important things in your life gets most of your time, gets most of your attention, gets most of your income if it requires it. And we're going to put it towards that because that's something that we really believe in. That's something that we get great pleasure out of, and so forth and so on. And so we're going to invest all of our effort into that. So for you to say that you love something and you really enjoy something and you really are for something, then the only way that I'm going to know that is me see how much time, how much effort, how much attention, and how much finance you're supplying into that. So if you're not doing any of that, then I'm going to question your dedication to what you claim to be a part of. And so a lot of these people think just because they put down a dollar sign or they'll put down a check. Nah, bro, that's just one portion of what you're supposed to do. Just putting money towards something does not mean that that's something that you love. When you put time into it, when you put effort into it, when you're giving it your undivided attention, that's what it is. So whatever your undivided attention is on, that's what you really want. And a lot of people will try to talk you into believing that they want this over here when all of their attention and all of their effort and stuff is over here on this. And it's very obvious to people who pay attention to stuff like that, but everybody is so caught up in all of the different distractions that they don't catch little stuff like that. But I catch all of that stuff. You're right, money ain't everything, man. Money ain't everything. Money is a tool. Money is a tool for bartering. And, we've had many talks about money, understanding where money came from, understanding how money is valued, where it gets its value from, and what causes it to circulate through our neighborhoods and stuff like that. Having that understanding is important. But when you have people, like I said, these Kanye West if we really truly backed him for president and he won for president and then he started to do stuff like this, how would you feel then? That's a question that I really, really have. How would you feel if we put somebody like Kanye West in the office of presidency and he did a Kanye or what Kanye is doing? I mean, we should already know the answer. We've done it already. We've done it numerous times. Um, just like with Joe Biden, everybody claimed that Joe was the best option when that was absolutely not the truth. We all know that that wasn't the truth, but he was the familiar option. He was the one that was, he had the popular vote because he was connected to the most popular president. That's what that was all about. They didn't think that Bernie Sanders would be able to carry it all the way through. And so at the last minute, they ousted Bernie Sanders and then they snuck Joe Biden up in the spot. And Joe won, and now Joe's giving them exactly what they deserve. And so people are mad at Joe Biden, but no, Joe is what they wanted. And so that kind of gets off topic, but I'm gonna go back. Yeah, you said Kanye is not. Kanye is only music material. Kanye has. He believes that his level of musical talent spreads into other areas of life and other areas of business, and they do not. And this is where he's lost his way. This is why he tried to do the whole come to Jesus thing, and he tried to get some understanding and some clarity of what was going on in his life because he recognizes that he's lived out that song Golddigger. I'm pretty sure he has, and this is probably one of the things that's driving him the most crazy is understanding that, man, I've lived out this song, something that I put out in front of the world, and now I've become an example of that. That dude has to deal with that internally. I know that I'm not the only person that sees that. I know that he's seen it. I know if he's been in therapy of any kind, it absolutely has to be a reality to him that he has to deal with on a regular basis. And so to live through that and to have to be able to deal with the life that he's created, is a hard thing. He's not in any position to be a leader of anything. Kanye West needs a whole lot of therapy. He needs help to get through his divorce, which is not even begun yet. So that guy needs a lot of help right now, and he does not need to be making any type of executive decisions. He does not need to be making any type of leadership or business decisions. There should be somebody over his stuff right now that is making these decisions on his behalf to protect him from himself. Because Kanye West has always been a liability. Let's be honest. From day one, Kanye West has always been a liability. Jay-Z realized that. That's why he started to disconnect himself from Kanye West because he realized that. Everybody looked at Jay-Z like he was the bad guy, but now they're starting to understand why you have to disconnect yourself from some people because if not, they're going to, you know, inadvertently or intentionally drag you down with them. So Kanye and his whole White Lives Matter thing right now, I don't understand what it means. I don't care to understand what it means because it is really a distraction. It's getting away from me from what I really need to be talking about. So now I'll just sit here and I've spent almost 30 minutes out of my life and out of y'all life talking about this dude who probably more than likely have a project coming up because he's in this battle right now with Adidas and with what is it, Balenciaga, somebody, to where he can't use the Yeezy likeness and none of that, and he has lawyers on that, and so he's trying to, I don't know, trying to stir up some type of, it's this has always been Kanye's pattern here lately. He'll stir up controversy, probably drop some music with somebody featuring somebody hot. That'll go hard. Okay, okay, Kanye back in good graces. No, time out for that, bro. We done with all of that. No, no, you're not going to uh, basically use the whole Pied Pipers, not even the Pied Piper. You remember how you got the snake charmer in India and he'll play his flute and he'll play that certain little tune and the cobra will come up out of the top of the basket and he'll just sit there and dance to the music. That's exactly what this is. He's that snake charmer. That's what his music does. He'll get you angry. He'll get you to the point to where you just want to strike and you just shooting venom and you're ready to just attack him. And he'll start to play that little flute and he'll have you swaying like those cobras. You know what I'm saying? That's Kanye West in a nutshell right now. And so there has to be time out from what Kanye is doing because people like this is causing us to put too much time and energy in the wrong things. We have way more important things going on right now in this world. We have these elections that are coming up. We have local elections that are coming up. Now, do you think it is you think it's a coincidence that all of these different distractions are taking place right now as these local elections are taking place and getting underway? Do you think it's a coincidence? Yeah. I absolutely don't think it's coincidence. There's going to be all types of different distractions. There's going to be all types of things to draw our attention away from these candidates and the fact that a lot of them are not up to par. If you judge them by the standard of just being a teacher over your children, a lot of them would not pass the bar. If you I tell you like this, you take every candidate, whether it's local from where you're from or federal, and say, when I let this person watch my child, would I let this person babysit my child? If I had to do something, would I feel comfortable taking my children to this person's house? I guarantee you, a lot of these candidates, you would not be comfortable with having your children be around. Now, I know that's kind of harsh because we don't be comfortable with our children around most people, but still, if you have to question that person's integrity or you have a strong sense of, nah, you see these people are not qualified for anything, but we're taking whatever we can get just as long as we get so and so out of there and so out of there. So all of these different distractions like Kanye West and anybody else is coming our way. What did Kanye do during the last presidential election? He was thrown in there to be a distraction, a disruption. Why? Because we go back to that day when he said George Bush does not care about black people during Hurricane Katrina. And ever since then, there's been a mandate for him to be a distraction, especially during election times. And it's becoming even more evident now than it was then. You can say I'm stretching. You can say yeah, that's a little bit of a stretch. But you tell me, you go back and do the research. You go back and look at the pattern from the time that Kanye West said that on live TV all the way up to now. What has Kanye West's contribution been to the election cycle? What has he done in every election from that time to now? He's been a distraction. He and not in the favor of black people. I'm telling you. He said none of the presidents care about black people. They only care about them voting for him. Absolutely. But they care about Kanye West getting up there saying that to the world if on live television. That right there was Kanye just doing what Kanye thought was good at the time and what was going to be noble for the black people. And now he's paid for it 10 times over, but he's going to pay for the rest of his career for doing that. And I feel like a part of that punishment is that he has to be a distraction during every election cycle. Because every election cycle, what has Kanye done? He's always done something provocative, said something that's just crazy. He's always doing something. There you go. Yeah, no one takes it seriously, but someone took him seriously enough to get their mind. America has become conditioned to love the personality or the persona. They don't even care about the policy no more. And so that's what his involvement is. His is to bolster up another persona or to take some of the charge away from a persona that's getting the lead that they don't want to be in the lead. That's what he comes in to do. And that's exactly what he did last time. So, this guy, it's never been about taking him seriously. It's just been about him being there to be a distraction and to get people off focus of what we really need to be looking at and what we really need to be paying attention to. He's like when you go to the rodeo. He's that rodeo clown. He's the one that gets the bull's attention so the actual bull rider can get the safety. That's what Kanye West is for this government. So, we have to watch out for people like Kanye West. He's not the only one. There's so many more that are in the same situation. And, the more they talk and the more they try to be working on the inside, and no, no, it hasn't worked in all of this time. We heard that same old story how many times before? Well, we're just going to get on the inside. The only way we can do anything is from the inside out. But what happens? They get on the inside and they get converted just like everybody else who came in with the good intentions. Kanye West is no different. Like I said, when he came in the game, he came in bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and now look what they've done to him, or look what he done to himself by thinking that he could handle the world, thinking that he could take on the world and win. The world is a million and oh. Nobody has beat the world. Nobody has beat the streets. So for Kanye West to be arrogant enough to think that he is going to beat the world, being a part of the world, and trying to straddle the fence, is he's gonna self-destruct. He's already self-destructed. Ain't no gonna about it. He's already self-destructed right before our eyes. Now, how many people are really gonna take acknowledgement to that? and just separate Kanye for the music that he makes and not for the rest of this stuff, I don't know. I don't really care. But the bottom line is Kanye West is not a black leader. He never has been. He's had some black leader concepts. He's been around black leaders, but he is not a black leader. Some of his music was dope. His early music, I think, was pretty dope. Um, yeah, you definitely have to watch out for all candidates. We only know what we hear them say. Yep, more food salad. Absolutely. So I'm like this. You, whatever I've seen you done, if I can go and I can look at your not just your resume, wherever you're from, if I can go around there and I can see products of what you've done, you know what I'm saying, or end results of things that you've done and you followed all the way through on them and you kept your word, that's what I need to know. That's what I need to know. Are you somebody who's going to keep your word? Are you somebody who's not going to be swayed by persuasive conversation, or you're not going to be somebody who's going to be swayed by threats, and are you somebody who's going to have integrity and not allow yourself to be bribed? All of these character, this is what we're looking for, because this is what's absent in all of these people in our government right now. Absolutely no character whatsoever. And so, if you're going to be looking for any quality in a candidate, you should be looking for character. I don't care what you got. I don't care what your background is. Do you have the character, the integrity to carry out what you say you're going to do? That's what counts. That's what leadership is. And so I'm not calling it. You have to do a hell of a lot to get me to recognize you as a leader of anything, especially if you're not putting forth the fruit of a leader. I definitely can't recognize you as a leader, and I'm not going to continue to miscategorize people. I'm not going to continue to put labels on people who don't deserve those labels. I spoke about the other night, Saturday night, when I was still down in Mississippi. I was pretty lit, but I still remember and I meant everything that I said. I respect respectable things. I'm not out here and giving my respect and admiration and time or anything to something that does not deserve respect. So if it don't deserve respect, if it's not a respectable thing, I'm not going to sit here and play like I have any respect for it. That's person, place, or thing. Person, place, or thing. So if it's not respectable, then it's going to get that warranted energy from it. Period. And so, we have some people who would disagree with that. That's okay. That's fine. That's lovely. That's beautiful. But just know, D Mac, if I don't find it anything that warrants respect, then I'll probably just keep my mouth closed, really and truly, unless somebody asks me about it. And at that point, I will try to avoid it as much as possible. But if you press me for an answer on something that I feel is not respectable, then we're gonna have a conversation. But yeah, you definitely have to earn respect. And Kanye West definitely has earned the respect of the people that I guess he was trying to get the respect of. And so it's not respectable to me. It is a slap in the face in a sense, because we understand what the context of Black Lives Matter is. Whenever they do the word manipulation like that, and it's dismissive, it's very dismissive of a very obvious problem in the United States of America. And so for him to involve himself in that type of word manipulation and all of that, especially during this election cycle, it's very obvious what the play is. It's very obvious, but that's neither here nor there, man. He's lost all respect for me. You know, he barely had any respect coming from my way, and that was just based on his music. I respect his music. I respect what he's done in music, but that's as far as it goes with him. It goes no further than that. You know, it's kind of like the same thing with R. Kelly. You know, the music was dope, but that's as far as that goes because I absolutely cannot have respect for a pedophile. So I separate the music from the person, and that don't mean I'm gonna just be out here damn promoting their music or whatever. But if I hear a song there that I like from the past, and it is what it is, I don't feel a certain way about it. But that's just not a person that I respect. And if I was to ever meet that person, I would treat them as if they were a person that I did not respect. Because some people do that. They'll talk all of this shit about a entertainer and stuff like that. But if they were to ever meet them, their energy would be the total opposite. They'll turn straight fanboy when they met them. But I promise you on everything, there's certain people who have lost my respect in life, who, you know, are highly regarded or have a high position or whatever you want to call it. But if I was to ever meet them, my energy would be like, oh, okay, and I don't want to shake their hand. I don't want to none of that. There's nothing that I have to say to this individual. There's nothing that that individual could say to me. And so why would I try to fake that? I'm not going to fake that. And so if I were to be honest, you know, I saw it and I did in the show a while back talking about, you know, Kanye was living out that song Golddigger. And this just seals the whole deal. This just consolidates the whole song. One more part, I think it's gonna happen. I think when it hit that 18-year mark, it may just be a surprise because we still questioning whether Chloe is OJ daughter or not. So there's some skeletons in that closet that may be coming out. I'm just saying. That's just some gossip, and I'm gonna go ahead and get off of that. But yeah, this is your boy D Mac, man. I'm about to get off here and flirt with my wife. Today is our anniversary. 18 years, man. 18 years. Shout out to my baby J Mac. Yeah. We'll probably go out to eat and do some stuff like that, man. But yeah, 18 years together. 18. That's a whole child growing up. uh, yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, she's done so much for me. I'm telling you, she's been there with me through so many obstacles in life. Um, Shout out to you, babe. 18 more. Um, yeah, 18 more. 18 in the books. Sorry, y'all. I had to text her real quick. She just texted me. But we always have this thing every year. Hey, I appreciate that, y'all. Appreciate that, y'all, so much. But every year because our anniversary is on the 6th. And for whatever reason, I don't know where she got it in her head that it's on the 8th. So every year on the 6th, I wake up that morning, roll over, happy anniversary, babe. And I anniversary. Today is the 6th. So it's reversed, man. My wife forget every year, man. But it's not that she forgets. She's just so convinced that our anniversary is on the 8th. I don't know why. That's just I don't know, man. It's just funny. But and man, I appreciate the love, y'all. Man, I hate this weather change. Got my be down for a couple of days, man. I've been drinking Steraflu and all of this crap, and I just stopped and I'm like, man, let me take some herbal stuff, and and started doing that, man. Started taking my vitamin C and started taking my turmeric, yeah, my turmeric pills for antioxidants and stuff, and yeah. Yeah, the antioxidants, man, that definitely is getting me back up, and that's why I was able to come on here and do this morning, because yesterday I was feeling like straight garbage. Yesterday I was feeling like pure garbage, but as I um as I began to take the turmeric and drink the hot tea with the honey and go through that whole process. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm starting to feel a little bit better. Now all of that scratchiness that was in my chest is gone, and my my nasal pharynx are starting to go down because it was real swole yesterday. My face felt real tight. Yeah, once I started doing all of my herbal treatments, that's when I started feeling a lot better. So right now, I'm halfway there. Yeah, you said echinacea is good too. Yeah, I heard that. My mom, she be telling me that. She's big on herbal stuff. And so, yeah, I just been drinking my green teas and different stuff like that, and taking my turmeric, and yeah, I'm starting to feel a lot better. But yeah, Kanye West, man, you need. Well, I don't know what you need, bro, but you need to move out of the way. Go sit on the bench, dog. And all of these youth that are up and coming, let's start paying attention to these youth that are out here speaking. I saw this young sister who was at a city council meeting, and the way that she broke down everything that was going on, and she had a very clear understanding of what the disconnect was in their local government. These are the children that we need to be getting right now and starting to cultivate and starting to support them and get behind them. These are our future leaders. These are the ones who are not going to be afraid to step to these people like they need to be stepped to. These are the ones that are becoming. The ones that we have now, they're still too ingrained in that old school mindset. They're the ones who gonna get there, and as soon as somebody stomp their foot hard enough, then they're gonna call a bluff, and they're gonna go right back to yes, boss. But we have these young core people who are coming up right now who don't jump at, somebody stomping a foot at them. They're fearless. And we have to be able to harness that fearlessness, not having them out here in the street killing each other, not having them out here in the streets arguing with each other and tearing each other down, but getting into those political fields. We need to back them whenever they start going to stuff like that and they start speaking out in that manner. Like I said, these gonna be your future aldermans. These are going to be your future city council, your future education board. Don't you want somebody with that type of tenacity fighting on your behalf? We getting old. Let's be real. Let's be honest. All of us free thinkers, we getting old. We got to pass this torch on to somebody. And when we pass it on, we want to feel good that we got somebody who gonna take it and blaze a trail, right? So we got to start catching these young babies, these young ones who are willing to stand up and speak for what is right at an early age, who already have that spirit in them, so that we can cultivate it in the right way, that they don't get out there and do and make the wrong mistakes that take them out of the running early, because that's what they're gonna do. Oh, they're gonna recognize, oh, this one can be a problem right here. We got to do something about that. We got to distract him. We got to get him in the system, or we got to get something on him. That's the first thing that they do. Or we got to find something on him so that we can discredit him or her. They're attacking our children. Y'all just know that, right? They are absolutely attacking our children early, because they know if you get the roots of that tree, then that tree is going to fall. So when anytime they see any signs of rebellion in our children, they gonna call it something. Oh, he has OCDC. Oh, he has PSRK. Oh, he has 296359888-6310. Yeah, all of these different diagnoses to try to stop our children from having that tenacity and that fearlessness to destroy the system that they've created. And so I don't know, man. That's just my mindset. That's just what I've been thinking here lately. I'm seeing a lot of youth as I'm out here uh, getting into this election stuff. Oh, matter of fact, salute to my homeboy Daryl, who's our man down in Mississippi. He's running for sheriff down there. Now he was in the military, a military buddy, and he's also close to family and stuff like that. So, there's a lot of people that are making moves and just sharing information with me right now on uh, things that you should do, things that you should make sure you have tied up, any tied up loose ends in your life, all of these things are going to be amplified 1,000 times. So, salute to everybody who has the um, the courage to put yourself out there on that magnitude. Yeah, that right there is what I'm talking about. We talk a good game, but when you put yourself out there on the magnascope, like on the magnifying glass like that, yeah, yeah, you really gotta be on your game, because everybody gonna be looking at every move you make. It's it's time for people to put up or either shut up. It really is. This made me realize, ever since I made that declaration that I'm going to start pursuing politics, it's like different things have been displayed to me. I had absolutely no idea that this dude down here in Rolling Fork, Mississippi, that I've been knowing all of these years, never would have thought that he even thought about running for a position like that. He's making this decision, man. This is not this is not coincidence that these things are happening. And so I'm just taking information as it comes to me, and I'm applying it to whatever I'm trying to do. So yeah, man, salute to everybody out there who are making these strategic moves and understanding that we need to do things on the local level, and we need to cut out any of these people who are not really black leaders. They're just black distractions. Kanye West, you're a black distraction. Candace Owens, you're a black distraction. We're not going to give any more of our time and energy to you, and Yeah, all of that is out. You just said it the best, and I'm gonna end it on what Hurricane said. The tides are turning slowly, but still turning. Yeah, this is your boy D Mac. You know what I say? Sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out.